Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by want to win a $500 Jay's gift card, a fly fishing trip in northern Michigan, a Lake Michigan charter boat trip, a walleye jigging trip on the Saginaw River? Well, join the Michigan United Conservation Clubs this summer as they continue to fight for fish, and 4 lucky winners will get a chance to get out fishing and support conservation. By Tri-County Logging. Experienced in sustainable forestry practices, Tri-County Logging can help you manage your property by keeping your woods healthy and generate income. Serving southern and mid-Michigan for nearly 50 years, TriCountyLogging.com.
For over 30 years, Vanguard Outdoors has made the gear that turns a regular hunt into another fine day of field. We know that a good shooting stick or a nice pair of binoculars can make or break your day. Our design teams include serious hunters who work hard to bring you the best sporting optics, shooting sticks, tripods, bags, and more. We are Vanguard Outdoors.
Hi everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Sialik, and we have a great show put together for you this week, and it's brand new. We're going to focus on the Detroit River with a couple of different species this week. I'll introduce you to a young family that's full of amazing anglers. They had a blast out there on the river chasing after white bass. You won't want to miss that story. And Jimmy's chasing after a different species on this week's show.
Well, that's right, Jenny. After we spend some time with some kids on the Detroit River, we're going to spend some time with a very seasoned angler who's going to show us the ins and outs of handlining, a very cool way to catch a lot of walleye on the Detroit River. You stay tuned. It's a really cool show this week. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger, and it's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988, offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. By Greenmark Equipment. Greenmark Equipment is a John Deere dealership network in southwest Michigan and northern Indiana. Greenmark provides sales and services to farmers, commercial businesses, large property owners, and homeowners. Information about pricing and products available can be found online at greenmarkequipment.com. By AnglerQuest Pontoons. AnglerQuest is a Michigan-based company building boats designed for comfort and fishing functionality. For more information, anglerquestpontoons.com. By Polarcraft Boats, offering riveted and welded boats for the outdoor enthusiast. Whether you're targeting fish or waterfowl, Polarcraft Boats have several models to choose from that keep you high and dry. For more information, polarcraft.com.
Good afternoon. Does somebody want to tell me what we're doing today?
So today we're going to be fishing for white bass.
All right. Have you guys been out there catching some?
We've been catching some a week ago at least.
Nice. And have you done this before?
Yes, a couple times. I'm super excited to be here today because I love fishing.
Awesome. Cool. What about you guys?
I'm really excited to fish too. Fishing is one of my favorite things.
Very nice. All right, guys, you're raising them right.
I know. I don't know who's more excited, yeah, the kids or myself. So.
Oh, very cool.
Probably equal.
Probably equal. Yeah.
All right, better get to the boat ramp.
Let's
eh?
do it.
Yeah, all right. Cool. So, Kirk, tell me the game plan today. What are we doing?
Yeah,
here?
so we're going to be going down to the Detroit River to catch some white bass, or silver bass, as a lot of people call it. And taking the whole family today, and hopefully have a good time. The fish should be there. Hopefully they'll be biting and cooperative, and can't ask for better weather.
No, it is a gorgeous day.
Beautiful.
Yes.
For sure.
One of
How
my-
long have you been taking the kids out to do this sort of thing?
Yeah, so I've been taking my girls out. My girls are twins, so they're 10 now. I've been taking them out since they were about 5, so this is about their 5th year doing it. And my son's been coming along for a few years as well. This is probably his 2nd or 3rd year really kind of cranking him in.
Awesome. And what about Stephanie?
She's an old pro. I think she grew up doing a little bit of fishing, and I think I've got her doing a little bit more fishing, but anytime I'm out with her, she always outfishes me.
Nice.
I like to fish, and if you don't like catching white bass, you don't like to fish. These things are fun to catch for everyone, but I just get a kick out of just watching the kids catch them, and usually I got my hands full and I'm pretty busy. So
Kirk was still getting all the gear set up when Sydney connected with the first fish of the day.
Spot.
You got one already.
Already.
Oh, cool.
Good job, Sydney.
well, that's a big one too.
Can I hold it?
You can. Nice job.
Great
I
job.
think first catch of the day.
Nice job.
Can we measure it to see how long it is?
Wow.
Sure.
They're pretty, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're like shiny.
Give her a measurement. I think a 16 inch is the master angler.
I think that's well 16, maybe a bit past.
I think so.
Good job, Sydney.
Good job, Sydney.
Nice. There you go. It was pretty easy to see in just a few minutes on the water that the Cleveland kids absolutely love to fish. So Sydney, what do you like about fishing?
To me, fishing is a really fun thing to do with the family. I've been fishing at least since I don't know, I've been on the boat since I'm 3, probably started fishing at 5. My mom has a picture of me catching a white bass for the very first time with my Disney princess caster.
That's awesome. Do you like fishing with your family?
Yeah, it's a really fun get together. Now
And everybody likes it, huh?
everybody likes it, as long as there's snacks on board, at least for my brother.
Awesome. So what's your favorite part about fishing?
My favorite part is catching the fish. Sometimes we eat them. My favorite fish food, at least, is walleye cheeks with Old Bay garlic and stuff, and breading. It's really almost my favorite dish.
Nice.
Okay.
Clay, what are you waiting for? What's the most important thing when you stop?
What'd you want?
Snacks.
Keys to taking kids fishing. Make sure you're
Fish on!
Oh,
Casey's got one too.
Oh wow! Wow!
Watch out, buddy.
Probably 15, 16 inches. Alan and him will get away.
Take a step back. Good job. That's a good one.
Nice.
Good job, Case.
That's probably one. Ew! It's just fish.
good job.
Pretty nice fish.
That was your first cast, wasn't it?
Yeah, first catch of
Wow. Going in?
the day. Yep.
Nice job.
Fish on! Did I get one?
Got
Yep,
it.
Dad, I got one.
Oh, what'd you
Oh,
get?
it's a tiny one! Yay! You can't look. They have red eyes.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Mhm.
Pull them up.
That's why I was falling. Can we add that to
You can
the
or
fish
you
count? I can't.
Well, yeah, you can add it.
It's
What's our total?
including Sydney's, we have 3.
All right.
3 fish on.
Cool. Very cool. Is that your first rock bass?
Yeah, probably. Well, at least I
That you
got
remember?
that. I remember at least. Yeah.
All right, it's going back.
Can't let him out for too long. Oh, I can see him.
A lot of fish action.
I'm looking at everybody catch all the fish.
You gotta get some energy first, right?
Mhm.
All right. Good idea.
Finish the snacks so you can fish.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever spent time with kids like this that just they're already know what they're doing. Out here.
They're into it. This is one of their favorite fishing trips of the year, but this is by far my favorite fishing trip of the year, bringing them out here. I like to fish for a lot of different stuff, but this is my favorite trip of the year is when they're into fish and doing it on their own, and they like learning too, which is fun for me. It just makes it fun for me to sometimes just be an observer instead of fishing. I think it's fun. It gets them gets them away from they start thinking about just catching fish becomes their focus for the afternoon. So nobody's thinking about watching TV or playing video games. All they're thinking about is how can I catch that fish, which I think is important to let your mind disconnect and just get out and enjoy the outdoors. As a kid, I enjoyed hunting and fishing and having those experiences with my family, and it was really important to want to pass that on to my kids.
They seem to love it, eh?
They do love it, which is fun to see as a parent.
Dad, do you think this is a master angler?
I don't think it's quite. You ready? Got them good?
I just want to see.
All right,
Here you go. Cool. Good job. Do you find that these bass like a certain color better or not really?
We mostly use the green and the pink
Okay.
worm-shaped ones, but with live minnows also works. Those are the ones we most commonly use. We also use those silver ones too. Those also work. That my dad's currently using right now.
Most of the time the white bass are going to be in a little bit easier to cast, in tighter to shore, though they'll be all the way out in the middle of the river. I've caught lots of them jigging for walleye, but for casting purposes, just want to anchor up close enough to the wall so you can cast close to the wall and bring it back in, usually with a slow retrieve. Usually it's nothing fancy, and there's not a special jigging or retrieving motion. Most days it's just let it sink a little bit and bring it in and wait till they hit.
Yeah. They're all sparkly. It's like they come, the
You
scales
got sparkles now, huh?
Yeah, the scales just come off on your fingers. It's crazy. So far.
Yeah, so my typical white bass assortment here, so nothing, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. My go-to on a day in, day out basis is a white jig with a white or white and pink 3-inch twister tail. It's easy to tip with a minnow, and when they're going really good, typically you don't need live bait, but it's never bad to support your bait shops and have some minnows as a backup. Anything that looks like a minnow as well. Small Castmaster spoons work really well. 1/4 ounce Castmaster spoons. Small Swedish pimples look well. If you want to get fancy, you can cast blade baits, but the more treble hooks, the more of the pain in the butt they are to unhook the fish in general. So, especially with the kids, typically I'll have them just use a single hook. You can also pinch the barb down too. It helps just get them off.
Casey's got one.
Yeah, fish on.
Whoa, it's fighting you.
Nice silver master.
Swing the line over me. Oh boy, that is a big one.
Woo!
Good job, Casey.
Sweet. Great job. Did he fight you?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Do you
He's
think
a
the minnows
fighter.
are the key?
Maybe. It's nice when you have both on there because they might not take the minnow, but they might take the bait.
Cool. All right, is he going back in? Going back in?
Right here. Oh. There he
Good
goes.
job.
Oh, look, it's a minnow.
Got one?
Fish on.
Woo! Now you're into them.
Good spot up here. Whoa! That's a biggie. That's a good one.
Swing you the line.
You got your pink lure, huh?
There you go.
These lures are the key. I think you got the minnow. I'm gonna
Really
need.
nice one, Sydney.
I was starting to think this family couldn't be any more likable, and then Casey and Sydney proved me wrong.
We watch Michigan Outdoors every single weekend. It's one of our favorite shows, along with Meat Eater.
Nice. What do you like about watching those kind of shows?
I like how there's a whole bunch of different varieties, from picking morel mushrooms to fishing to hunting, all different sorts of animals. Yeah, it's just amazing how I can watch these people, everyone from different places in Michigan, just fish and hunt and do a lot of other stuff. The TV, watching people, other women fish and hunt or do stuff that other boys mostly think that only boys can do, it makes me feel special. It makes me feel like I'm gonna do that someday. And here we are. We're on Michigan Outdoors. It's exciting.
Girl power, right?
Exactly.
In my 24 years in outdoor television, I can't recall any 10-year-old kids quite like these young ladies. Kirk and Stephanie are doing an outstanding job passing on their passion for fishing, and it shows in the skill, knowledge, and enjoyment all three of their youngsters have for the sport. A very special thank you to the Cleland family for sharing this picture-perfect day on the water right here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Well, as you can tell, the Detroit River is a very special fishery to be sure, and really known as a walleye fishery first and foremost. One way that they've been catching fish on that river for a long period of time is by handlining. A week or so back found me on the Detroit River at Sinbad's Restaurant and Marina, getting into a 14-foot aluminum boat to do a little handlining with John Hutek and Mike Crucker. What are we doing here today, boys?
Catching walleye.
Yeah, we're doing it the old school way?
Old school.
From the master captain here.
Goes back about 70 years at least.
Yeah, what are we doing? We're handlining?
We're handlining.
And if they've never heard of that kind of, what does that mean?
Well, you use your hand. No, it's you're gonna see it. It's pulling wire on a spring-loaded reel, and 3 leads going off of it. Very productive.
And people still do that on the river quite a bit, or not so much?
Yeah, getting less people. You know, hopefully they'll watch this and say, "Wow, let's get a couple of them reels and go to it."
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go give it a shot.
It's a lot of fun.
This is the reel, a spring-loaded contraption that will take up the line and let it go as you need. From this wire line, you hook your leads. Simple enough in theory, but Mike ran me through just how this all works.
It's an imitation Rapala. Nice color today, blue, because the water's crystal clear. Middle of the day, you just gotta make sure it's swimming right when you put her in. And you just let out 36 feet of leader. This here. She's still swimming good back there.
I'm gonna head towards the casino, Mike. Okay.
Yeah, go straight ahead. Well, I want to get down just a little more.
Okay.
That past that railroad thing.
Okay.
Put that on the main line.
This is called the shank. So we put her on the shank here. Make sure you're clipped. There's one. I do this. Then I take a 18-footer. And today I'll put a spoon on there. Sometimes they like a little pink. I'll try this guy. Now you put the spoon on without a swivel, just a snap, because you want that action. Then on the other end we have a swivel. This is 18 feet, half of the top leader. Some guys use 40 feet, 20 feet. Some guys use 24, 12. I like this.
So you got the long one on top and then a shorter one on the bottom.
Well, in the middle.
In the middle. You're gonna run 3 on there?
Yeah, he's gonna do 3.
And then how heavy is the actual weight that's?
That's 1 3/8 pounds.
1 3/8 pounds.
And this way you can stay on the bottom in this current. This is as far as I know, a 7-knot current constantly. Winter, summer, just amazing. A lot of water running through here. And just to get those, just to get those low running walleye, put one we call the kicker, which is 6 feet. That hugs right on the bottom, and sometimes you like that.
So if it hits that bottom one, you got to bring in all that other lines too?
Yeah, well, there's a little trick to it. Yeah, it's not as bad as, but see there, then see she's right on the bottom. Then you just make sure they're all floating, and kind of right. Yep, they're all good. Get your hand wet, and then you let it down, just sliding down now. And then you can definitely feel it hit the bottom. Tell you when. Boom, it's on the bottom. Then I get my speed here just right. Let me do this. And then speed has a whole lot to do with it, depending on the time I'm trying. Oh, there's the bottom.
At this point, Mike just jigs the weight off the bottom. He did this for, about 30 seconds or so, and wouldn't you know, he had a fish on right away.
So I don't get tangled, so I can get right back down. Okay. This is a 36 foot. We're pulling her in.
Ooh, came up. All right, good start, Mike.
Nice pickerel.
Good start.
Walleye. And that's basically, got John.
Yep.
That's it. There, now you're sitting on the cooler, Jim.
There you go. Let's hold them up there.
Yeah. Nice
Well,
size.
that was the first. That took about about a minute.
About a minute, yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right, let's head back to the dock.
Okay.
Wait, that's not about your meal right there. That's about your meal. We got to get 2 more.
As we started to fish, I asked Mike to tell me a little bit more about the reel that we were using and a little bit about the history of how this kind of fishing got started.
This is a modern reel here, what they call it, gold cap. There's a gold cap, a red cap, an ANS, all different manufacturers. But it started, I would estimate, back in the 20s when almost everybody had a Victrola record player in their living room. Well, then as the radio became famous, well, everybody started to put the Victrolas out to the alley, you know. They turn on the radio. Well, the men are always looking for better ways to fish. They would take the spring out of the Victrola and mount it in a box with a hole in the side of the box, and it had that spring that used to wind up to play records, and they would do the same thing I'm doing, only your wire line came out of a hole in the side of the box. You know, I actually have 3 of those boxes. They're, I don't know how old, they're 70, 80, 90 years old probably. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. You actually have in the archives Morton F. and Handlining right in the same spot. Here, guys pulling in walleyes 80 years ago, you know.
One of the things I asked Mike was what it was about this kind of fishing that he really enjoys.
It's productive, and back in the day, I had 5 kids, and you know, I could work all day and fish half the night, you know, and I wouldn't interfere with the family time, you know. So it was great, man. We fished about 2 nights a week for years, and so I just kept it up. Bought this little boat a long time ago.
Sitting and listening to Mike tell stories was well worth the trip today. And he and John, well, they just kept catching fish one after another. I did have Mike tell me how he got started handlining so many years ago.
Kind of funny, my grandpa, who at the time was about 70, you know, and I was maybe 25, and he was a fisherman, lived right on a canal here on Point. I was excited. Oh, Grandpa, I found a new way to fish, man. You know, he's in his garage working because, you know, Grandma was in the house. Grandpa stayed in the garage. You know? so he's in the garage and he's listening. Says, yeah. I say, yeah. Boy, we use a Victrola box, they call it, and a hammock. So he's not saying nothing to me. You know, now that's not like him. He gets a ladder out and he puts the ladder, and I'm still telling him all about it. He's kind of like halfway paying attention, gets the ladder, climbs the ladder, goes up to the loft of the garage, pulls down a Victrola box. And he says, I did that half of my life. He never told me, you know. He had the tackle, the old McGinnis tackle, you know, what they used to use. We don't use that anymore. But, oh yeah, he was over 80, and we go up to St. Clair, he'd still pull wire, you know. Great times, boy. Great times.
Showing him something new, right?
Oh yeah, I thought I would show him something new. Yeah, he had all this old-timey hand-painted tackle. He had 2 Victrolas, you know. Yeah, I still have them. That's how I got started. Detroit River walleye. 1 hook, nice and easy. Nice one. We're going to Sinbad's on the river here. Great place to eat And for fishermen out here catching walleye, if you bring your catch in, they have a cleaning station. You can clean them and take them in at restaurants. They'll cook them up for you. So you take them your fish. You get sauteed walleye, blackened walleye, or deep fried. And some guys get all three. So we can't wait.
Let me tell you, the dinner at Sinbad's was world class. I can't tell you which version of the walleye was better. Each one was outstanding. And even I was able to try my hand at handlining and caught a fish as well. This trip was so special. Not one piece of electronics on that boat, just a couple of guys who know the river, and one that's passing on a tradition that's been a staple on this stretch of water. If you ever get a chance to sit with an old fisherman and get him to tell some stories, well, just sit down and listen up. You will be entertained, you will laugh, and you will probably learn a lot right here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Thanks so much for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you stay tuned in upcoming weeks. We have all sorts of great fishing adventures headed your way and a couple of other things thrown into the mix here in our great outdoors in this beautiful state here in the summertime. If you'd like to see where we are and where we're headed next, you can always check us out online.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Online is always a good way to kind of keep track of us. You can do that through our website, our different social media platforms, as well as YouTube. Lots of places you can be checking us out. We have been traveling the state a lot of late, so lots of good stories coming over the next several weeks. Make sure you stay tuned, and as always, if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by.
Do you dream of somewhere bigger than your backyard? You can get there with Greenstone. Whether you want to hunt, fish, hike, or just watch the sunset, we're ready to help you own your place in the great outdoors. To learn more, visit greenstonefcs.com.
By Alta Equipment Company, providing sales, rentals, service, and parts because uptime matters. From earth moving to landscaping and light construction, Alta offers over 50 brands across 7 Michigan locations to serve you. More information online or 844-GO-2-ALTA.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, east to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands.